Hello gang and welcome to Force 13 Extra. Well, there's a scheduled flight on this evening, but at the moment it appears that a loading screen is not completing. And I have no idea why. It would be unfair to leave you all waiting on a loading screen of your own on YouTube, so I thought I would begin the stream anyway and we can have a little chat for a while whilst we look at live satellite imagery of Howard, which is what we're supposed to be flying into today. So I just thought I'd run this whilst you can hear the nice peaceful flight simulator music in the background, and hope to God that it will finish loading in a moment and we'll be able to get on our way. I don't have much hope for it, quite honestly. If we can't get off the ground by the end of the hour, then we'll definitely have to cancel the flight. As it stands right now, I'm monitoring my output from the task manager, and the app is still responding. So I guess I should just leave it and see what happens, but that's where we're at right now. So I guess you could say that if this flight doesn't take off or whatever, you could say that it's been it's loaded. Well, that's a relief. I was going to say it would be an impromptu little chat session, but as it happens, the happy flight simulator music is playing. I have the legacy old-fashioned one that was in FSX back in 2006 when it came out. And I started flying on flight simulators around 2009, which is a hell of a long time ago now. Graphics that would make you cringe these days compared to the lovely views from FSX, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We're going to set up on the ground on the island of Socorro, the small island that always gets hit by these hurricanes. Just going to route a flight path that will take us into the storm, and then I reckon we'll land at Cabo San Lucas on the southern tip of the Baja California Peninsula. So let me just set the arrival there, Los Cabos, the airport there, from Socorro. And now I've got to figure out, I can't remember how to sort all this stuff out. Just listen to me mumbling in the background whilst I sort everything out here. Just trying to set myself. Where are we? Why is that not working? Oh, it is. Oh, that sucks. Okay, fine. I'll just set up this normal flight path and we'll just deviate as and when. Alright, great. So, we're setting up now. Which button? Okay, let's press the fly button. Right, we'll make sure we get up and off the ground fairly soon. If you do have any questions for us, then you can write it in the chat section and I'll be able to have a look at it. Bit naughty, you shouldn't really be doing that whilst you're in the cockpit flying a plane, but I don't think anyone will care too much. Oh God, why is it moving already? Excellent. Alright, we are here. Runway 18 on the island of Socorro. As you can see here, it is clear skies, actually, at this point. The plane I fly is it's not a real plane. It's an extremely fast vehicle. The reason why it's not a real plane that I use is because we don't therefore get to see the beautiful view, uninterrupted view out the cockpit. I know some people might prefer to see the cockpit as well, but it doesn't sit well with me when they're not really very accurate. My preferred planes don't come with weather radar on the game, so that's a bit of a bummer. I just don't really like how, if you really want to fly the plane properly as a pilot, you'll have to zoom in on various dials and knobs, and I don't know, you don't get to see what's going on out there. Anyway, it is getting late in the day. We're running real time and real weather, so we better get off the ground and get flying. Now, has it decided to shut off my engine? Come on. Oh, nope, there we're starting to roll. Alright, I thought it'd be a bit faster than that. Have faith. Alright, we'll just have to add a bit more power then. I hate the throttle profile of this plane because when you get it up beyond about 10%, it goes like crazy. So you got to be really, really careful to keep it around 10% to get a good takeoff. And then when you get to altitude, say about 20-30,000 feet, you can raise it further to maybe 30%. We're getting airspeed now, 80 knots. Need to add a bit more than that, 90. Here we go. I think we'll be able to pull it, or we'll do it on its own. Alright, gear up. Decent start. And now we'll want to fly westwards. Into the sunset, actually. And I'll generally gradually ease throttle on. In fact, look, it is sunset here. This plane is ridiculous in its capabilities, which is why it's so good. I can get this plane up to the maximum in the game, which is 275,000 feet. I did a test flight 2 days ago over Spain, and it set a new record for ground speed, where it managed to attain, even though we're in the air 275,000 feet, the ground speed was 7,701 miles per hour, or Mach 12.5. So an incredible speed that this plane is capable of. Oh, just pressed the wrong buttons. Don't want to open the flaps. Alright, let's get the show on the road. Gradually increase my speed and my throttle as we ascend. Interesting to note that there are no clouds on the horizon and we're headed towards the storm, so interesting. Unfortunately, I was trying to get a flight plan that would take us directly into the middle of the storm, but I couldn't do it because there's no beacons or navigational aids that I can refer to for reference points. So that means that we'll be flying, or we'll be trying to relocate the center of the storm completely visually. So it is quite important, almost imperative, that we get as high as possible as we follow the sun basically here. We want to get as high as possible so that we can see as far as possible down on the ground to where the cloud formations are, the cloud patterns, and then once you get up there, it should be pretty easy to spot the eye, considering the fairly small nature of the storm. It's with the big typhoons that you sometimes struggle to find the eye when you're on visual. Okay, currently at 12,000 feet and ascending pretty well. I like how some people here in the chat section are pretending to be cabin crew. What I do love about Flight Sim is the really cool how it shows believable wave patterns and sea patterns like the one you're seeing right now down there. So we are currently only going 142 knots of airspeed, which isn't very much when you compare it with commercial airliners. We're at 16,000 feet, but trust me, we'll be getting up there pretty quickly. I mean, we ascend fairly quickly. We're currently doing about 3,000 feet per minute, and then once you're up there, our airspeed will just keep going up and up to about 300 or 400 knots, even at 275,000 feet, which equates to about 4,000 or 5,000 miles per hour on the ground. We managed a couple of days ago on that test flight, the airspeed for that 7,701 mile an hour ground speed was 646 knots at 275,000 feet, so pretty remarkable stuff. But interestingly, still at this point, I have not seen any clouds. There's some little blips there on the bottom right hand side. I think there might be just tiny little cloud puffs, but somewhere along here we need to be seeing Howard. Where are you? I'm going to turn left a little bit. Of course, it might be hard to see the clouds at first against that sun. 20,000 feet. To keep the plane stable, you don't want to put on too much throttle at this early stage. Once you get to about 50,000, it gets much better. Yeah, it gets much thinner. We'll apply a bit more throttle just at this point. Generally, this plane in particular will get very rickety and shaky at over 212 or 215 knots of airspeed up to about 50,000 feet. When you get past that, the plane becomes very hard to control. I would not recommend it. So I've increased it to 175 and we're still rising here at 2,500 feet per minute, following the sun. Hopefully, as we move a bit further west, we'll catch the sun up a little bit. Obviously, we want to get there as quick as possible so that we can observe the storm in daylight. Yep, gives me a bit of speed there, so I'll a bit more throttle now. So, this is one of our live flights. If you're new to this kind of thing, it's partly recreation, but it is a decent indicator to what a recon flight might feel like. Well, not really, is it, when you're flying at this altitude? But once you descend into it, what we see is a little bit like what recon sees. Experience is nothing like an actual recon flight, of course. You don't really feel the bumps, and you don't really get to do the activities that a recon team would do. Even if we got a is it a P3 that they fly sometimes, I think. They have this in the game, mod, and I had a quick look at it. I only just recently downloaded it. But unfortunately it's not that good. I mean, yes, it has the NOAA variant, which has the nice little anemometer and all the other stuff that it comes with. It looks really cool on the outside. I mean, if you could do it for documentary purposes, I guess. It would look pretty cool from an external view to get some stock footage. But to actually fly it as a recon plane, it's just not immersive at all. It's just a plane. You don't get to do any of the recon activities. There's no weather radar on it either. It's not that I could gather. So, you know, just a plane. But it is cool to get a feel for all the different planes that there are on the flight sim. One other thing about this, of course, is that because there is no internal cockpit, I cannot engage any kind of autopilot, so all of these flights are hand flown. So sometimes if I get a little bit ahead of myself chatting away and I'm not noticing where the plane's going whilst I'm reading the comments or whatever, you'll be able to tell when I'm not paying attention. It does ACAF for a while as well. But no job too big for us. We're just reaching 40,000 feet now, so only a little bit more and then we can really let it put the hammer down. Seeing some tiny little clouds down there, just tiny little things. So 132 knots right now at 40,000 feet. Can't think what that is on the ground, but it's still a pretty decent number, much faster than 200 knots on the ground that you could do in this plane. So probably about 400 something ground speed. There's a question from Diamond Life earlier. Opinions on 97L. If you don't want to answer, that's fine, lol. If I didn't want to answer something, that would suggest some kind of shady business going on. As for 97W, it's really a question of whether it manages to tighten up enough before it makes landfall in southern China, whether it becomes a tropical storm or not. I think by now I'm just about sold that it will manage it, but only just. As for southern China, there's going to be a massive area of 10-inch rainfall plus, as I mentioned in, I think, the Tropical Weather Bulletin. 87 million people in the area that the models are predicting 10 inches of rain, 250 millimeters. That's a pretty big deal. Now, S.E. Jalen Devon said that I have no experience as a pilot. What a shocking comment to make. I have plenty of experience as a Microsoft Flight Simulator pilot, as I mentioned earlier. 13 years, would you believe? And quite a while with X-Plane as well in the interim years before Flight Simulator got better again. And they outdid themselves with this game, Flight Simulator 2020. At this point it's been 2 years since it came out. I guess it's easy to ask for more. But you gotta just take a step back and look at how well this game is compared to the previous one that we had, which was Flight Simulator X in 2006. And the graphics on that were pretty poor. I mean, it was just built on top of the previous version, 04, which was built on top of 02, which was built on top of 2000. It was using old stuff. Now, more questions. How long will this stream be? So hopefully we'll get into the storm soon. Put it to full throttle now. We should be able to be alright with that. I think we are at full throttle actually. Full throttle. Wow, we are. We should be going faster then. Just nose down for a bit to see if we can get some speed up. So I imagine that we'll be in the hurricane in about 30 minutes or less. And I don't think we're far away already. We're getting pretty close. Then we'll swan around in the hurricane until after sunset, which is about an hour. And then we'll come out of it and we'll land in Cabo San Lucas. So hopefully we'll be finished here at 3:30 Zulu is what my estimate would be. That's 2 hours from now. Another common models are calling for another EPAC storm around the 11th of August. Probably. CJ says, am I sure about that? Because last I checked, all our passengers needed medical attention after the flight into Hurricane Elsa. Which one was that? What happened? Can't remember. I have had a few botched landings. But I've learned a lot about this plane recently, and trust me, there will be no mistakes today. The only type of crash will be if the software crashes, which is a distinct possibility when we saw the loading screen. Yes, we had a takeoff where the plane flipped over. How am I supposed to control that? Oh dear. Alright, we're 60,000 feet now. We should be going faster though, I don't know what's going on. Just gonna pitch down for a bit, see if we can get some speed. Still somewhat surprised that I haven't seen any clouds yet, really. We must be able to see them soon. There's a big hurricane out here somewhere. Honestly, we can't be more than about 5 or 10 minutes from seeing it. Well, no, we really should be seeing it now, but ain't seeing anything yet. I'll let you appreciate the wind noise for a little bit here as we cruise along. Veering quite a bit. We got a bit of, is that wind resistance? Can't figure out what's going on there. I'd like to report that the temperature up here is minus 52 degrees Celsius. For some reason, we're still struggling for speed. I mean, yeah, we're going along at a decent pace. We're at 61,000 feet, 144 airspeed. But it could be much more than that. And I'm wondering why it isn't. need to check my other monitor here to see where exactly the storm is right now, because I'm sure we should be seeing something by now. Okay, I think we need to turn north a bit. So we're going to make a bit of a right turn because I think we'll deviate a bit to the south. So we'll now head north-northwest. But we really should be on top of this thing very soon. Bit bouncy. Wee bit of turbulence. But we are getting very close to the storm. I'm baffled that we can't see any clouds. What's going on? Is this going to be the first Microsoft Flight Simulator gaffe? Where there's supposed to be a hurricane and we end up encountering nothing? Reminds me of the first Hurricane Hunter mission that I did on Flight Sim, which was Hurricane Rick in 2009 when it was a Category 5. And I flew out there and I was so excited. And there was nothing there. There was nothing there. And then there was when, and compare that with in 2020 when I did my first Hurricane Hunter flight on Flight Simulator 2020, and it turned out to be one of the best, flying into Hurricane Teddy, and God, that was beautiful. I don't think I've seen a hurricane look quite as good on this game since Teddy. Although having said that, I don't often get the chance to fly into the strongest storms because we're usually covering them live. My reckoning, we're just about 5 minutes from the center of the storm, and I don't see how that's possible because there is nothing here. Would have liked to have been higher, but you can still see quite a lot from where we are, currently at 67,000 feet. I think I might be able to see some clouds on the horizon on the left. It's hard to tell with, of course, the sun. But I'm not liking this. Like I've gone a bit too far to the right now as well, so let's go back to the west-northwest. Try and give us a direct course for this hurricane. Yeah, we've still got a bit further to go yet, but I'm a bit worried that we're not going to see anything. I mean, come on, there's a hurricane with a beautiful eye. It's got to be there. Right? least you get to see beautiful shots of the Pacific Ocean if you've never seen it before. Turn quite a bit more to the left here. And now we've got a comment by Z3 who says, note to passengers, the hurricane experience is being disrupted due to the pilot unable to find a single cloud near Howard. Enjoy the stacks without a hurricane. Why are you attributing no clouds in a hurricane to pilot error? That's shocking. Have faith, we're gonna find some clouds soon. We're just not quite there yet. That must be the reason. Now hold on, I'm seeing some whiteness on the horizon there that looks like it's extending above the horizon. So I think there might be some clouds coming up. Ooh, clouds. So on tenterhooks here, trying to figure out whether what's ahead of us is clouds or nothing, or a hurricane, which it should be. 67,000 feet. Still checking very closely to see where we are in the world, and we are currently, just get a little estimate, we're to the southwest of the hurricane by about 140 or 120 miles. You would think that if we're only 120 miles from the center of the storm, you would see something round about now. This is Force 13 Extra, where we do fun things. The home of hypos, would you believe? And you can check out all of the other Force 13 related channels. We're going to do a bunch more stuff soon, I think, on the gaming channel. Fingers crossed. There's also been some exciting developments in the world of Cyclone history. If anyone has any questions related to Force 13 and how we're going to grow and all that stuff, then feel free to ask away. Come up with ideas if you have any, or just put your thoughts to us. I'm still seeing a cloudless horizon, and we are literally how far away now? So a moment ago we were about 120 miles away. Now we're about 110, so that's how fast we're going. About 2 miles a minute or more. No, not 2 miles a minute. Probably more than that. Oh no, I lost track of time. But I'm baffled and scared that we haven't seen anything of Howard yet. Annoyingly, I can't get any higher than 67,000 feet. So I'm just gonna... I'm not even gonna control the pitch of the plane anymore, I'm just gonna control the... lateral movement. Or is it longitudinal movement? Happens. This is outrageous. Where's my hurricane? Now that I'm not on the yoke, I get to lie back in my chair as well, which is very relaxing. A bit bumpy now though. Honestly, Howard should be here. We're within about 100 miles now. And what are we seeing? All we're seeing is water. This is just ridiculous. Come on, Howard, don't let us down. But when you consider the size of the cloud tops, they must be getting to about 30 or 40,000 feet, maybe a few 50s. You should be able to see them by now. Like, they'd be just about blocking out the sun. Losing speed. Well, I never. We are very, very close to the centre of Howard now. I am seeing some clouds to my right, but once again, they are absolutely tiny. They're just tiny little isolated cumulus clouds, which are probably less than a mile wide. You might see one or two now. At this point we can only be about 60 miles from the centre of Howard. And if it's 60 miles, you should be able to see it. At this altitude, you can probably, the horizon is probably about 200 miles. And yet, there ain't nothing there. I'll just double check that we have set the weather to be real world weather, which I'm pretty sure we have. We have. So yeah, big question on every commenter's lips right now. Where is Howard? This dreadful hurricane. I don't know, guys. Howard should be right here. All I see is just a couple of tiny cumulus clouds near the ground. Still not directly over where the centre should be yet, but I can't realistically see there being anything here because I can't see anything in front of me stretching out 100 to 200 miles. It's such a shame because Howard had a beautiful eye as well. There's a few more little clouds coming up on the left, slightly larger than the previous ones, but when it comes down to me picking out individual little clouds, you know it's pretty dire. can only be about 20 miles from the reported center of the storm. 20 miles, that's pretty much slipping underneath the bottom of the screen, what 20 miles is on the ground. Probably nearly 20 miles high. Oh, this appears to be an extreme disappointment. I feel like we should just go a bit further though. Just look over there. That is just sea. There is nada on the horizon. Well, I'm going to drop down to a much lower altitude for two reasons. One, just to see if anything interesting is down there. I don't know, could be anything down there. Maybe observe some of those tiny clouds. And two, just to see if we can, to observe, trying to figure out this plane, what happens when we ascend again coming out of it, and to see if we can get the higher speed that I didn't seem to obtain. So we're going to go right down in a big spiral. It certainly seems a bit hazy. We're descending extremely fast right now. Yeah, it is hazy when you look at it. But I don't know. There's just nothing here. We'll keep going down, following the sun here for a bit. Get right down near the bottom, near the sea level, and then we'll shoot back up again and see if we can get to a higher altitude than 67,000. We're still at 40,000 here. Takes a while to get down there. Yep, certainly hazy, but no hurricane. No Howard. What are we supposed to say to that? We're going right down here. We're still at just about to pass through 30,000. But really, there's just no cloud anywhere. What is up with that? Go near ground level, of course, and just see what visibility's like down there. Still at 20,000 feet. Looks much lower. I'm just wondering if there's a low bank of cloud down here, or what? Or is it all just haze? Weird. We're gonna fall through this. Looks pretty crazy. 10,000 feet, going right down to the murky surface of the ocean here. It was a lovely sunset, if that's what you came to see. 4,000. 3,000. 2,000. 'Hold on a minute. Where's the throttle gone? Oh, there it is. Oh god. Yeah, so very odd. Let's just try and get down a little bit very close to the surface just to see if we can see the individual waves moving along. Quite terrifying really to be flying so low, so very far away from land. But after that hopefully we can get to a great height, well beyond 67,000 feet, and fly back to Cabo San Lucas in record time. Just dropping slowly, 1800, moving real slow. I'm battling serious crosswind. I'm trying to turn pretty hard to the right and it's really hitting against me. Where is the ocean? Feels like we're just gonna hit it. 1,000 feet. 800, 700, 600. I don't think any individual waves are out there illuminated. It's quite sad. Oh, is it just like glass? Oh god, there it is. 100 feet. Yep, I think that's the furthest we'll go. Right, let's get up there as fast as we can because this is just... Now, I told you it would get a bit rocky here. Oh look, there's the moon. Oh dear, we've just turned the other way. Let's right that. Just gonna try and get as high as we can, as fast as we can, and try and get some really high altitude. If this actually happened, the G-forces would have probably killed you by now. Nope, that doesn't seem to have worked. I'm only going to end up at the same altitude again. Why have we lost speed? What just happened? What's going on? Did we just lose the engine? Is anyone out there? Can we maintain level flight even? I'm not sure we... Has this thing died? Hello? Is this thing... Oh, bloody hell. I'm a bit worried. What's going on? So look, there's the one cloud in Howard right now that you can see down there. Nice looking little cloud. Oh, we're getting it back again. I really don't know what's happening now. Oh, here we go. We got it back, I think. And it's making a long noise. Right, let's ascend. As much as we can. It's still not as much power as I was hoping this thing would have. That gets you to 275,000 feet, but it'll get us back to 67,000 feet again. I don't know what the difference is, why it sometimes propels us that high and sometimes it doesn't. We're flying back towards Cabo San Lucas now. We didn't see anything of Hurricane Howard. What a disaster. Now, shortly you'll get to see a night landing when we get to Cabo San Lucas, because it will have gone dark over there. So, hold on to your hats. We're going to see a night landing, and that could be completely catastrophic, let's face it. But I will prove you wrong. I will show you that I can land a plane at night. Oh yeah. Without any problems whatsoever. But yeah, I'm still not understanding why this plane won't go as much as I know it can. But yeah, it still gets to a decent altitude. Just going to decrease the ascent rate to get some more speed up, see if that will help us up higher. Because I just wonder if the speed of ascent has been a problem where you just don't get enough speed and then you just don't get enough propulsion to get to the higher altitudes. And God knows, I don't know. But it is an interesting little conundrum. We are getting some good speed now, so we're going to do some climbing again. Those who are wondering whether we saw the Eye of Howard, we didn't see a bloody thing. Despite overflying the centre of the storm, there was no storm, according to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It would be some kind of irony if there's a little thunderstorm now over the landing, over the runway at Cabo San Lucas. But as far as I can tell, it should be a routine clear weather landing. Is it clear weather? Just find out if it was clear weather. Oh, there's a little bit of cloud. Yeah, they got some cloud. They might actually have a little thunderstorm or two. So I guess this is going to become the latest Force 13 meme. No Howard. We couldn't find him. Damn. So yeah, gradually getting dark. Man, we're going slow. It's really frustrating knowing that we can go faster than this, but sometimes it just decides not to. At this rate, we're probably about... How long has this taken so far? An hour. We've been in the air. So it's probably going to be about half an hour until we descend. 45 minutes to landing, I would say. Yeah, I know we're ahead of schedule, but still quite a lot of flying over nothing before we get down and land. But hey, it's a great time to just chill out and send any questions that you want to have us answer, or me. Want to have me answer. I'm going to do a big pitch up and see if we can get higher, but I really don't think it's going to work at all. Might be able to see some stars out. Nah, can't even get to 60,000 without losing all my speed. Michael Paul says, when will Yvette form? Probably in about 2 or 3 days. NZ Tornado Railfan says, Howard's Eye to me looks like Typhoon Land from 2017. No, not really. Just a little bit. Land was huge. So much sea. It's amazing to think how much water the Earth holds. Last visible satellite images for Howard right now. In fact, let's show you some. Oh, there it goes into darkness. Boom. Howard is gone. Tell you what though, looking good there on that visible infrared imagery. Connection lost. Alright. Well, that was interesting. If you love flying, then Force 13 Extra is for you. What I will be doing actually, when I was away on my holidays to Gibraltar last week, I obviously filmed the takeoffs and the landings out of Manchester and out of Gibraltar, so I'll upload those, and then what I plan to do on my personal channel, just search Nathan Foy and you'll find my personal channel. What I plan to do then is to fly the route on the flight simulator in an actual A320, which was the plane that was used, and recreate the experience. So we're going to do that. I don't know when, but that's what I want to do pretty soon. So look forward to that on my personal channel. Loads of stuff that I need to put on my personal channel. Before long, you'll eventually see little lights start to appear on the southern tip of Baja California and at Cabo San Lucas. It's really getting dark now. So yeah, we'll just still set course for Cabo San Lucas. Hopefully we'll be landing there in about 30 minutes. Until then, we just watch this big dark curtain move across the sky. It's funny to think that this whole concept of night is caused by the Earth's shadow. You can't see any progress being made, but trust me, we are making progress towards our landing location. Boy, does it feel slow. The funny thing is as well, I opted to do this flight now, very last minute actually. I was thinking of doing one tomorrow, but you don't want to fly in the dark in the storm. And when you get to dawn and morning, then that will be about 12 hours from now, I think, or a little bit less. And by then the storm might have weakened as it moves over those colder waters, so I did opt for this evening flight. If the storm was there, we're just about believing its influence now. The Hurricane Central says that the plane's speed is about 45 or 55 miles an hour. No, mate, it's much faster than that. We're doing approximately 400 miles per hour on the ground. Possibly more, I'm just guessing. Let me do an airspeed to ground speed conversion. Oh god, the plane's tilting over. Let me look at the airspeed to ground speed conversion. That one. Trying to figure this all out. Hold on. That didn't work. Oh, there it is. Is it? I'm trying to find out what the ground speed is, but I can't find it now. Can't find the calculator. Lost it. Anyway, we're getting closer now. Make sure you stay strapped in. Probably start to see, actually yes, you can see the land on the horizon now. A little bit of lighting, I can see a little light over there. So yeah, we're getting close now. Ah, stop turning. closing in on our landing now, and we'll start descending pretty soon. And you'll get to see a most wonderful landing. So I imagine we'll be back down on the ground in about... I can never judge how long he's going to take. Before the end of the hour, we'll be down. Well, it got dark quickly. Gonna start our descent shortly. Feels like it's going on forever. Like the land doesn't feel like it's getting any closer at all. We're still doing the same speed, same altitude, all that jazz. Recon Central there, being a bit optimistic, saying we'll be landing in a couple of minutes. It's going to be a bit longer than that. quite nicely see the coastline now. And once again here it looks like a clear night, no cloud. Satellite suggests that there's some light cloud in the area, but I'm not seeing any. This is taking quite some time. It feels like we've been close for ages. But, you know, if Howard is still going and looking decent tomorrow morning, local time at sunrise, we might put out another flight there and see if we have anything better than what we just witnessed. This is a terrible damp swivel of flight. But no, every flight is unique and exciting in their own way. You can actually see the other side of the peninsula now. If you missed it earlier, the tropical weather bulletin on the main channel. Elsewhere we've got a few areas of interest: Atlantic, Eastern Pacific, Central Pacific still, and that Western Pacific bugger, which has been marked as a TD already by JMA and is probably going to get named. Honestly, I know this looks slow as hell, but we are going at about 400 or 500 miles per hour on the ground, if not more. It is incredibly slow. We'll be starting to descend shortly though. Ground will come up to meet you. And just to reiterate, we're going at about almost double the height of a typical commercial airliner. Not quite, but almost. When you put that into perspective, we're pretty high. Of course, if you haven't been there before, you can check out the Force 13 Discord server, discord.gg/Force13 for tropical weather chat and more besides. We certainly are getting close now. About 3 more minutes and then we will start descending into Cabo San Lucas. You've waited a long time here to witness my beautiful landing and approach, and you will not be disappointed by my excellent landing skills. So what happens is we will fly over Cabo San Lucas on approach to the airport, which is to the east. Whilst Cabo San Lucas has a small airport, well, it is an international airport, we're actually landing at the bigger one to the east. So that's actually not Cabo San Lucas, that's San Jose del Cabo, further towards the east. So that's where we're going to end up. That's the second city mast that you can see there. And you can see a little squiggly line connecting them up. That's the highway, Mexican Route 1. I know it looks pretty high at this point, but I'm going in down pretty quickly, I will be. Just so that we can get this thing done as quickly as possible, because, you know, we don't want to hang about. It's getting late for everyone. We're getting very close now to the descent threshold. past our descent threshold, so we're going to nose down now. Reduce thrust a little bit. Yeah. Still looks like we're barely moving. Trust me, we are hauling right now. We better really start descending now because we're getting very close and we're still at 55,000 feet. So I've put thrust down to idle now. Make sure we have a more robust descent rate. Oh, we really need to get down. There's beautiful Cabo San Lucas down there. Lovely evening. Oh, there it is. You can see the runway already. Just to the left of the town. But we are way too high and fast at this point, so we're going to take a little trip out to sea. give us some more time to go down and then go back on track. Come up to there really quick. Oh well. Pushing the speed a little bit there. Shed a lot more altitude now. 18,000 feet to go. There's the runway in the distance. We might be alright to line up for that. Just need to make sure we shed that speed before we land. I think we'll be able to make that in one. Let's go for it. Yeah, that looks all set for me. So, final leg of this journey, landing shortly. Make sure your tray tables are up. Going on down here? Why is the coastline not loaded properly? Look at the state of it. What's that all about? tell you right now, that is not normal. You can see things with a hell of a lot more clarity than that, usually. I don't know whether there's a problem with connection or whatever. It's the problem with games that require 24/7 online access to load parts of it up. I understand in part why they've done it, because to download every single part of this game is probably absolutely ginormous. But when the online stuff breaks down, you get this terrible looking... And that could even be why the weather failed to load. I don't know. Might be something going on with the servers there. But it appears I'm still too high. Alright, let's try and put the gear down and some flaps down. Let's see if we can get down there. But look at that, the terrain just looks awful. So low quality. Hopefully the runway will be a little bit better. Man, that's right there, that's really close. Gonna have to do a spin round. Yeah, so again, I don't know why the train looks so appalling. But it must have been why the water didn't look so great earlier and why we didn't have a storm. It's gotta be. So, you know, it wasn't us that failed during this flight, it's clearly the software. As we come in for a landing. Now you watch how good this landing's gonna be. Oh yes! I'm a bit too low now. Nothing to worry about. Did I turn lights on this plane? I don't know if we're coming in with any landing lights. Is this thing dying? Come on, give us some extra thrust. Come on. We got it, we got it. Oh, we do have a light on. Look at the state of that runway. See, look at that. That's just no... There's just nothing on that runway. You see? Check out that landing. I can't even see where we turn off. So yeah, something is morbidly wrong with the textures on this. I can't even see a turn off. Can I turn off yet? Oh, there's a lot more to this runway yet. My god, we're only halfway along the runway. Taxiway coming up. I think there should be one right around now. I don't see it, so I'm going to pretend it's there and go across whatever. This is just appalling. They've wrecked these textures. And I imagine there's no terminal building, or an extremely poor res one at that. I don't think there's even a terminal building at all. What is all that? There's some planes and there's something else. What are these things in the middle? Are those jetways leading to nothing? Ooh, steady on now. Are those air bridges that are leading to nothing? They are, aren't they? Air bridges leading to an invisible terminal. I don't know what happened tonight, but the graphics and the weather was pretty damn poor. Nonetheless, the actual flying, I think we'll all agree, was excellent. Thank you very much. That's it from our flight tonight on Force 13 Extra, flying into Hurricane Howard, even though it was never there in the first place. What can you do? We'll try again tomorrow. Have a good night. This was Force 13 Extra Live. If you want more extra fun, then I guess you'll have to wait for... I don't know where I was going with that, actually. But Force 13 Extra, we're always open to ideas, and it's sort of like the little sandbox that we have for our team. They just sort of do what they want, whenever they want. But not many people do. Anyway, that's it from here. Good night. I'll be back on the Tropical Weather Bulletin tomorrow night, and I'll see you there. Good night.